Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to our May 16th Newton County Board of Education meeting. If you would, bow your heads for a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Fear, we have some special recognition.
Yes, Mr. Turner, tonight we do. Good evening. Tonight we have several students to be recognized for their recent accomplishments. But first, I'd like to call on Ms. Lucy Hay, who is the chair of the Newton Education Foundation, for a brief presentation. The Newton Education Foundation is a huge partner of the school system. At our previous board meeting, they came and presented to the school system a check for $5,000 to go to the book bus, which is a bus that visits communities throughout Newton County to provide books to children during the summer. And then we also run the bus right before the holiday season. And it's not just a bus to deliver books. The books are part of the children's libraries. They become their books. And so the Education Foundation is a strong partner of the school system, and they're here this evening to do another presentation.
Good evening. I'm Jason Lee. To all the school board present and those here today, and on behalf of Lucy Hay and the NEF board, I'd like to thank you for your time this evening. As you know, the NEF board is dedicated to helping the Newton County school system with reaching goals for providing and increasing their technical reading and writing capabilities. Being an engineer within the industry for about 20 years, I can appreciate the need for technically sound individuals. Individuals that can analyze and think critically. These individuals are what drive and lead an organization to success. Dr. Tim Schmidt's robotics program within Newton County has produced teams that have gone to state and national competitions. I have seen firsthand and judged these various teams in these well-run and organized competitions. I am very impressed by the talent, growth, knowledge, and opportunity this competition gives to challenge kids to think and act analytically using sound design and scientific methods, math, physics, and most importantly, team building. Being on the NEF board and sponsoring the Liberty team and Dr. Tim's robotics program was both a privilege and an honor, since this supported the NEF's second goal of helping Newton County school system students to improve technical reading and writing capabilities. On behalf of Lucy Hay and the NEF board, I would like to present the $1,000 check today. Thank you.
Keep coming back.
No.
begin, I would just like to publicly thank the Newton Education Foundation for their continuous support, and specifically addressing the two goals that we have as a school system and embracing the work that we do, not only around reading, but also with robotics and technical reading and writing, which are very, very important in today's educational arena. So thank you so very much for your hard work. Now we'll proceed with our student recognition program. Students, when I call your name, please come forward to accept your certificate of recognition from Mr. Turner, who is the chairman of the Newton County Board of Education. First up tonight, we have a student who has recently earned state recognition. Would Tufail Khan please come forward? Tufail is a senior at Newton High School and is one of only 6 seniors statewide to be selected by the Georgia Department of Education as a 2017 Star English Learner. He will be recognized by the State Superintendent, Richard Woods, at his annual Excellence in Achievement reception. This is the 2nd consecutive year that a Newton County School System student has been selected for this very prestigious honor. Congratulations to Phil. We're very proud of you. Next, would like to recognize a very intelligent group of 7th grade students who have earned recognition in the 2017 Duke University Talent Identification Program, better known as Duke TIP. This year, 12 Newton County School System 7th grade students qualified for state recognition in Duke TIP for their performance either on the SAT or the ACT. Each of these 12 students also qualified for either the Duke TIP Academy for Summer Studies or the Duke TIP Center for Summer Studies. 8 additional 7th graders met the criteria for the Academy of Summer Studies but fell just short of state recognition. Each year, 7th grade students in Duke University's 16 state talent search region are selected to participate in this prestigious program. School counselors, teachers, and administrators help Duke University identify academically talented students for consideration. Once their application is approved, the students are given the opportunity to take either the SAT or the ACT college entrance exam. In order to receive state-level recognition, students must meet one of the following criteria. Students taking the ACT must score 22 or greater on English, math, or science, or 23 or greater on the ACT reading test. Students taking the SAT must score 540 or greater on math, or 550 or greater on evidence-based reading and writing. Keep in mind that these are very good scores for juniors or seniors. So we got to keep that in mind. These are juniors or senior scores. However, the students here tonight excelled on these college entrance exams as 7th graders. Imagine what their scores will be when they take the college entrance exams again in high school. Students, when I call your name, please come forward to accept your certificate. Caitlin Phillips. Caitlin is a 7th grade student at Cousins Middle School, and she earned state recognition in the Duke TIP program as a result of her outstanding performance on the ACT reading test. She also earned admission into Duke's Center for Summer Studies. Connor Coursey. Connor is a 7th grade student at Indian Creek Middle School, and he earned state recognition as a result of his excellent performance on the ACT math test. He also earned admission to Duke's Center for Summer Studies. Bailey Smith. Is Bailey here? So Bailey is not here, but we'll recognize her. Bailey is a 7th grade student at Indian Creek Middle School, and she excelled on the ACT college entrance exam, meeting state recognition requirements on the math, English, and reading test. She also earned admission to the Duke Center for Summer Studies. Congratulations to Bailey Smith. Jack Eric Jack attends 7th grade at the Newton County Theme School, and he performed extremely well on the SAT college entrance exam, earning state recognition on both the reading and writing and math tests. As a result, he earned admission to the Duke Center for Summer Studies. Congratulations, Jack. Lane Maddox. Lane is a 7th grader at Newton County Theme School, and he earned state recognition status as a result of his excellent performance on the ACT reading test. In addition, he was accepted to the Duke Tip Academy for Summer Studies. Congratulations, Lane. Brianna Francis. Brianna is a 7th grade student at Liberty Middle School, and she excelled on the SAT, earning state recognition on both the reading, writing test, and the math test. She was also accepted to the Duke Center for Summer Studies. Congratulations, Brianna. Isaac Garber. Isaac is in the 7th grade at Liberty Middle School, and he also excelled on the SAT and earned state recognition status both on the reading, writing, and math test. In addition, he was selected for the Academy of Summer Studies offered by Duke Tip. Congratulations, Isaac. Jaden Scurry. Jaden is a 7th grade student at Liberty Middle School, and he earned state recognition due to his excellent performance on the ACT math test. He was also selected for the Duke Tip Center for Summer Studies. Congratulations, Jaden. We had 4 students from Cousins Middle School who met state recognition status in the Duke Tip program, but they were unable to attend this evening because they are attending events at their schools. At Cousins. They are Eva Fury, Stephanie Vaughn, Emily Walker, and Matthew Walker. Let's give them a round of applause. As I stated earlier, we also had several students who fell just short of the state recognition status but performed so well on the SAT or ACT that they were selected to attend the Duke Tip Academy for Summer Studies. Students, when I call your name, please come forward. Chase Parker. Chase is a 7th grade student at Clements Middle School. Congratulations, Chase. Lauren Williams. Lauren attends 7th grade at Clements Middle School. Congratulations, Lauren. Is it Latayla? Latayla Billingsley. Let me make sure I say it correctly. Latayla is a 7th grade student at Indian Creek Middle School. Congratulations, Latayla. Charles Downs. Charles attends 7th grade at Indian Creek Middle School. Congratulations, Charles. Catherine Hansen. No, Catherine? Catherine is a 7th grade student at the Newton County Theme School. Congratulations to Catherine. We also had 3 additional students who could not attend this evening, but we want to recognize them in their absence. Lawson Holder and Taylor Neely from Cousins Middle School and Kennedy Tinley from Clements Middle School each earned acceptance into the Academy for Summer Studies. Let's congratulate all of our Duke Tip students for their outstanding accomplishments. Students, I encourage you to keep reading, keep working hard so that you can maintain these scores as you matriculate through high school. What you've accomplished as 7th grade students is quite outstanding. We are extremely proud of you, and we are really happy that you have been recognized by the Duke Tip program, and we are grateful that you work so hard in our school system. Mr. Turner, for me, this concludes the student recognition portion of tonight's program.
Thank you, Ms. Ferry. If all the mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers, aunts, uncles, siblings, would you all please stand, please? As members of the Board of Education, we would like to thank you all for the support that you've given to your children in making their lives be a success, and hope you continue to do that because they are our future leaders. So we'd like to give you all a round of applause. Thank you. At this time, we'll proceed with the remaining portion of our board meeting. And if you have something else that you would like to do, we really would like for you to stay here, but now would be a good opportunity for you to leave.
I'll be right with you.
Okay, we also would like to recognize Connor Corsi. Am I saying your name correctly? He's here representing Troop 748, and he's here earning his merit awards. Yes. Okay, glad to have you here. Mm-hmm. Do we have any public participation? Having none, we'll move on. I need a motion to approve the agenda, please.
Mr. Chairman, I need to amend the agenda.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda to add a presentation of the Department of Education's Comprehensive Needs Assessment.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Coggins to amend the agenda. Have a second by Ms. Baker. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. I need a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Have a motion by Mr. Johnson, second by Ms. Baker. Any discussions? Having none, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, same. Motion carries. Superintendent's report.
Mr. Chairman, Madam Superintendent, members of the board, with our superintendent's reports, operations report, and CIT report, there are no changes to those, and we are asking for action on those this evening.
Could I get a motion to approve items under A, which is 1 and 2?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bailey. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Coggins. Any discussion? Having none, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Item B.
Item B, CIT report, no changes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, item B, I need a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Ms. Baker, second by Mr. Johnson. Any discussion? Having none, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
At this time, we will have a presentation led by Dr. Sheila Thomas.
Okay, good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to allow me to come and share this presentation with you on the Comprehensive Needs Assessment and Georgia's Framework for Continuous Improvement. Before I begin, I do want to just give you a little background information. In the spring of the school year, the school district and the schools, we began to plan for the upcoming school year. So we look at things that we have in place in the current school year. We look at things as to whether they worked or do we need to make any type of adjustments, any type of enhancements, and work on a plan as it relates to what we're going to implement for the upcoming school year. So Georgia Department of Education has identified that this is the process that they wish for all school systems to implement. And so Georgia Department of Education, that we refer to as Godot, they have come up with a framework, and the framework is the the system of continuous improvement. So within that system, what I want to share with you is what is it that is involved in the framework system and what are we doing in Newton County as it relates to developing our plan. So this evening we're going to look at this system, and there are 5 systems of what do we need to improve, and we're going to look at the process for improving those systems as it relates to our students, our teachers, our parents, and community members. And I want to briefly talk to you about the comprehensive needs assessment, which is the process for us looking to examine what we're actually doing, looking at our strengths and room for opportunities. And there will be an opportunity for my fellow members at the central office to come in and share what we are doing as it relates to the assigned systems with the continuous improvement process. So as it relates to Georgia Department of Education, I just want to tell you a little bit about the structure, what that entails. Godot actually created this structure, which is created a structure which provides support to the systems and the districts. They also looked at what is going to be the continuous improvement framework, because what we have been doing is within each department and within each program area, such as Title I, Title II, Title III, we have been looking individually to see what our needs are. But with this new framework, there is one single comprehensive needs assessment that we all will work on all at the same time and use the information in that one document to meet the needs across the district. And again, as I mentioned, the framework will allow us to address what do we need to improve and how do we need to go about improving it. So just to share with you why we are completing the district CNA, which is the comprehensive needs assessment. One is to determine the district needs. What do we need to do and what type of supports do we need to provide for all of our schools within Newton County? We also need to identify interventions that are needed for federal funding. And with federal funding, we have to use the money or have to justify how we're going to use the money, which is based on the needs. We also have to submit to Godot the comprehensive needs assessment, which is evidence that we actually have been planning collaboratively with all of our stakeholders to determine our needs. And we are going to develop a plan, which is called the District Improvement Plan. So both of those documents will be submitted to Godot in July for approval. Now, with that approval, that will allow us, the managers of federal programs, and again, such as Title I, Title II, Title III, managers of the programs, to submit to Georgia Department of Education a budget for approval so that we can provide the additional supports to our schools, and again, our schools, our students, our teachers, and our parents and community members. We also are completing the comprehensive needs assessment because this is a model. The district comprehensive needs assessment, which is the process we're working on now, it serves as a model for what the schools will be doing the next school year. And so the schools will have to complete a comprehensive needs assessment as well as a school improvement plan. Now, let me stop right here and just say we are already doing this work. We have been working on a comprehensive needs assessment, and we already have improvement plans in place. But again, Georgia Department of Education is now just bringing everybody together and working under one umbrella so we really can function from one plan versus having multiple plans. And then lastly, We're completing this process because it is a direct alignment to the continuous improvement efforts that we have in place for our Advanced Ed SACS reaccreditation process, which will take place in the 2018-19 school year. So if you could just take out the document that I shared with the board members, and if you have this document that you may have picked up on the table in the back, and I just want to kind of explain to you what the diagram really represents and how we're going to work to improve student achievement in Newton County. So if you look at the diagram, in the very center, you will see the whole child. Everything that we do is focused on educating the whole child. So just when you think about, okay, a child is coming to school and they're receiving instruction, it is way more than just the parents dropping their kids off at school and the child receives instruction and goes home in the afternoon. So right around the center structure, circle are the 5 systems that we are actually working on. So you have the first system, which is the coherent instructional system, and then we have professional capacity, and then supportive learning environment, and then family and community engagement, and effective leadership. All 5 of those systems contribute to educating the whole child. So those are the systems of what we will be working on in our district to increase student achievement. So how do we actually conduct the work are the green arrows that's around the entire circle. So what will we actually do? First, we will identify our needs. That is the beginning part of the comprehensive needs assessment. That is the work that we are doing right now to look at what are our needs in the district and what room for opportunities do we have. So once we determine what those needs are, we will look to see what interventions are appropriate, and interventions using particularly federal funds. And once we determine those interventions, we will develop a plan, just as I've mentioned, the district improvement plan. So all of us will take the stakeholders' feedback from our parents, community members. We've met today with the leadership team with Superintendent Fury. We're going to meet on Thursday with the students to get feedback about those 5 structures that I just mentioned. And so we're going to develop a plan that we will submit to Georgia Department of Education in July. And so once that plan is approved, beginning the next school year, we will actually implement the plan, and then throughout the course of the year, we will examine our progress, looking at formative assessments, as well as conducting a program evaluation at the end of the year. So again, the focus is on the whole child. There are 5 different structures that we have in place that we look at to see what do we need to do to help educate the whole child. And then there are also 5 systems that are in place to tell us 5 systems to tell us what we need to do and how we need to do it. So since Godot has laid out this structured program, this framework for continuous improvement, what we have done under the direction of Dr. Lockhart is we have been working in EST, the executive support team, and the different directors have the task of being team leads. And the team leads really serve as the go-to person or the expert for those 5 systems. So at this time, I would like for all of the 5 systems and the team leads, they will come up and they will share information with you as it relates to the system in which they're responsible for. So at this time, we'll start with Coherent Instructional System with Mr. Benjamin Roundtree.
Good evening. Thank you, Dr. Thomas. Good evening. Good evening. As Dr. Thomas has already said, I am working with the system of Coherent Instructional System. And what this system is, it is of course, it's the basis of what we do system-wide. Because obviously, children come to school to learn and to be instructed and to be taught. And so what we're doing here is that this particular system will articulate and guide the what and the how of instruction. And then there are four structures under this particular system. And so the things that we're looking at specifically is how we plan for quality instruction, then how, after we plan it, then how do we deliver that? And this, of course, is district-wide. And then we monitor student progress, and then we refine the instructional system based on what we found in the monitoring. So optimally, these four structures will work together in the end to give us a strong, coherent instructional system. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. I'm looking at the system of effective leadership. There are 5 indicators within this section. We are creating and maintaining a climate and culture conducive to learning, cultivating and distributing leadership, ensuring high-quality instruction in all classrooms, managing the district and its resources, and driving improvement efforts. We're currently collecting data from our steering committee that works with effective leadership along with other stakeholders so that we can find out exactly where we fit with these 5 strands, and then we'll take that information in order to determine what our needs and trends are in the district. Thank you.
Good evening. Ms. Sanders and I have the system of professional capacity, and under our system there are 4 areas, which are attracting staff, developing staff, retaining staff, and then ensuring staff collaboration. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Good evening. Dr. Thomas and I had the task of family and community engagement, and under that topic we have 6 strands, and they are welcoming all families and the community, and we've already identified a gamut of things that we're doing in each of these areas. The second one is communicating effectively with all families and the community. The third one is supporting student success. The fourth one is empowering families. The fifth one is sharing leadership with families and the community. And the final one is collaborating with the community. And as I stated earlier, we realized as we started to list all of the things that we're doing by department, we're doing just a lot in the area of community, a lot more than we even thought ourselves or were aware ourselves that we were doing. The work with our EL families, our special ed population, the fact that we're communicating with parents through our parent messenger, our Thursday folder, our Twitter account, our Facebook account, our after-school program supporting student success there, our One Newton Parent Recognition Program that we're doing, the Principal for a Day, giving our community members an opportunity to sit in and be a part of our school process and seeing how that all operates. And then the PTO school council meetings and student advisory meetings that Ms. Fury has for each one of those groups. Our early learning initiative with our local daycare centers, the book bus, as well as other boards that our superintendent and deputy superintendent serve on throughout the community. And then finally, lots of different partnerships that we have with community agencies. We began to list those and just saw that we were doing a lot in our district. So there are a few opportunities for growth, and so we have talked about those, and we look forward to working on those in the coming year. Any questions?
Okay, thank you.
Good evening. The supportive learning environments, we're really taking a look at that through 3 lenses or standards. The first is how we develop and implement processes to maintain facilities and equipment to ensure an environment that supports learning. The second standard is how we provide, coordinate, and monitor student support systems and services. And the final standard is how we define the roles, responsibilities, skill sets of our leaders at all levels of the school district to improve student learning. And those are the areas that we're taking a look at in this process. Are there any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you to all of the team leads. And I know that was a brief explanation of each of those different systems, but we wanted to give you an idea of the things that we are working on as we develop a process for continuous improvement, looking at the whole child for the next school year. So lastly, I would like to share with you an opportunity. We're always looking for our stakeholders to collaborate with us and to offer feedback. So on June the 1st, we will have a meeting, and it will be a kind of a roundtable discussion where we can be more, go more in depth about some of the things that we're doing in the district as it relates to the 5 systems that we just shared with you. But the meeting will be on June 1st at the Newton College and Career Academy at 5:30. So we open it up to any board members, any community leaders, any parents, PTO presidents. Did I miss any other group? School council and PTO. So I know that the superintendent has sent a personal invitation to those groups to attend this meeting. So we hope that everyone come out and take this opportunity to talk with us and give us some suggestions on things that we can do to enhance the quality of education that we're providing to all students in Newton County. So again, I thank you very much.
Thank you. Any questions for any of the board members?
I have some questions. Okay, so my first question, Dr. Thomas, is in relation to what will happen. So understanding that Title I funds are federal marked funds,
Yes.
specific on how they can be spent. But now we have the state who would like a plan. So are there any setback or consequences for our funding if we do not satisfy the state in regards to this?
Well, yes, the consequence is we are not able to apply for the federal funds. Period. But what will actually happen is Georgia Department of Education, once we submit the comprehensive needs assessment and the district improvement plan, the team at Godot, they're going to look at those documents and give us feedback. So we'll have the opportunity to come back, meet, make any type of adjustments that are appropriate, and then submit the plan.
Okay.
So really, it's not necessarily a consequence because they'll give us an opportunity to make those adjustments so that our plans are approved, and then we can move on to apply for those federal funds.
Okay, okay, perfect. So then I guess the same thing will apply if in the future we're not able to implement the plan, period. So once we get past that stage and let's say we have a plan in place, but the plan is not implemented 100%, then the same type of consequences would apply.
Well, kind of yes and no. We have program managers, which like myself is a Title I program manager. Ms. Buff is a program manager for Title II. Mr. Roundtree is a program manager for Title III, which is the EL program. And a responsibility that we have is to provide the guidance and support to make sure that what is in the plan is actually implemented and carried out. So throughout the course of the year, we provide supports to make sure the implementation is successful, as well as we progress monitor throughout the course of the year. So once we get to the end of the year, we evaluate the program. And so we just look to see, did we meet the goals that were set in our plans? And if we did, then great. And if we did not, we tweak those goals or we tweak the interventions that we have in place so that we provide additional support the next year. Right.
Okay. And then, so the other question I have is related to stakeholders. So we have this meeting on June 1st. Will there be reoccurring stakeholder meetings throughout the year? Is there a certain amount of stakeholders that we need to have feedback for inside of the plan? Like, is there a ratio percentage according to our student population or no?
No, there's not a ratio that we have to meet for as a stakeholder participation. We just have to give all of our stakeholders an opportunity to provide input. And then I think it was something else that you asked. Did I answer it?
Will
Okay.
it be reoccurring meetings?
Yes, we have meetings throughout the course of the year, and particularly with our Title I schools, which we have 21 Title I schools. Each Title I school has a development and revision planning meeting as well. So at that time, parents and community members can provide any type of feedback. Any of the parent engagement activity meetings, at the very end, there's a survey where they can provide feedback, and those meetings are, provided to parents throughout the course of the year, as well as any meetings that the superintendent has. She always gives an opportunity for any of the stakeholder groups that she meets with to have an opportunity to share their thoughts.
Okay, that's good to know. So the Title I meetings that each individual school has, like whether they're training on math or how to use Infinite Campus and stuff like that, they'll take that opportunity to get feedback.
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
One other question, will we use the public media to advertise a June 1st date?
Right now, we're focused on three groups: community leaders, school council and PTO leaders, because we need to make sure that we have enough space to accommodate people. So we'll have to do segments of people. And as far as we'll look at probably school-based, so that you can focus your efforts around a controllable amount of people. You certainly don't want 19,000 parents to show up for one meeting. So we'll strategize. So right now we're looking at the school council PTO leaders whom I meet with, and the community leaders with whom I meet. And then we meet with the advisory council, which has a representative from every school across grades 7 through 12. They'll be here Thursday. And then from there, we'll sort of spread out. The interesting part about this is that we just received this, and it's due in July. So that's important to keep in mind, that this is an enormous amount of data collection and meetings, and I hope that everyone in the state will follow our plan as closely as we're trying to be transparent and gather information, but it's a lot to accomplish from now until what is it due, the 31st of July?
Yes.
So we're really pedal to the metal to try to meet the deadlines that the state has given us in order to secure the funding that we need to operate.
This system of continuous improvement that you've just shown us, this whole package with all these different folks involved. This is to secure federal funds.
Yes.
And yet, this is going to be something that we implement system-wide? Like, everyone is involved in this? All of these strategic plans will be for everyone, not just Title I students, Title II students, Title III students, but for the entirety of the system?
Well, it's two parts. One, the district plan, we look at everybody within the district. And then when we start rolling it out as it relates to a school base, it will be rolled out to the it will be required for the 21 Title I schools, and that's based on what is required from Georgia Department of Education.
Okay.
So, Mr. Bailey, too, one thing that we also have to keep in mind is that we're looking for ways to consolidate our work, because we already have school improvement plans.
Right.
We already have Title I plans. We already have a district improvement plan, a strategic plan. And so,
Does this do away with those, though?
well, that's what the hope is, that we can begin to, since this is going to be required by the state, I'm not sure how well the advanced ed organization is going to tie into this. So for advanced ed, there are additional things that you have to get done. So the idea is to try to marry all of these pieces so that at the end of the day, we're only responsible to do one thing,
Right.
instead of many, many things that are just sort of redundant work.
So is the state asking us to jump through some more hoops? Is the state asking us to jump through some more hoops in order to receive federal funds? It just seems like, who am I talking to? Is this necessary? Is this necessary? If it makes the central office team's job easier and more efficient, rather, then hoorah, let's do this.
Right.
But if it's going to be, if they're going to have to turn in the same things they've done in the past few years and this,
Right.
it just seems like too much from the
Right.
state level.
That is why that we as a district are looking to consolidate our efforts very closely so that we are not duplicating any work, so that if this can be our driving force and satisfy all of the folks who need us to do things, then we would prefer to go with one methodology as opposed to multiple methodologies. And yes, it is driven by the state. I don't know, I don't attend the Title I meetings or the Title II or Title III, but I can say that, it is definitely an effort upon at the state level to try to consolidate their work so that they're trying to line up their federal programs more consistently, particularly when they come to audit a school system. It used to be that Title I would come by themselves, Title II, and we've seen the back end sort of align. And so I believe this is the front end. I think it's not enough time for a district to respond. Personally, I think it's a lot of work for a district to respond, and particularly for districts that have limited number of personnel to manage it. I think it's a burden on the schools. It will be at one point, so we'll have to figure out a way to consolidate the schools' efforts while still meeting the needs of the children in the school and satisfying the accrediting agencies as well. So
That's a fantastic answer. But if we are forced to do something and jump through these hoops and the state doesn't have their stuff together yet, and then it's going to feel like it's all for naught. It'll just feel like things are getting pushed down on the local level again when I want to make sure, I would love to hear the state say they've got their stuff together first.
It won't be the first time.
yes.
I understand.
Well, I can tell you that Dr. Thomas, Dr. Lockhart, Mr. Roundtree, they attended a state-level meeting recently, and based upon the feedback that I've received from their attendance, we are doing the right things at the right time, and people are looking at what we are doing because not everybody has paid very close attention to this process. So I think we're still behind the eight ball, so to speak, with regard to trying to get it done. But we've got a great team, and the good news is that it only has to be done at the district level right now. And hopefully we will have it all worked out, so by the time it's time to implement at the school level, it will be a seamless process for them. Less is more, is what my philosophy is. Try to do the very strategic work so that we don't have to do work that's meaningless.
Agreed.
We're not there yet, though.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Old business?
Yes, sir. Under old business, we have two policies up for revision, policy IHE and policy EEE. They've been tabled for over 30 days, and we're requesting board action on them this evening.
Can I get a motion to approve items A and B, please?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Coggins, second by Ms. Baker. Any discussion? Having none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. Motion carries. On the new business, Dr. Lockhart, you have items A through D.
Yes, sir. Items A through D were discussed last week at our work session, and they are before you for action this evening.
If no board member has any objection to combining all of these items, I'd like to have a motion to approve items A through D.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Coggins. Do I
Second.
have a second? Second by Mr. Bailey. Any discussions? Having none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. Motion carries. Item E.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
The superintendent recommends the technology infrastructure needed for the school system to be purchased from Infinity Network Solutions of Macon, Georgia. The technology department has identified necessary technology upgrades at school and facilities throughout the school system. The current projects and administrative offices, the central office, and the service center include wireless access points, network switches, cabling, as well as project management, installation, and cleanup. The equipment and associated services will be purchased from Infinity Solutions. The school systems will utilize a contract established by the General Service Administration to procure the equipment. Projects and associated costs are represented in the chart below. For the administrative offices, we're looking at $130,499.81. For the service center, $106,708.04, for a total cost of $237,000 to sinuses and medication is working right now for $237,000. They'll be paid for out of the FY17 capital funds. Additional documentation on file available for review.
Okay, you heard the information presented as it relates to item E. Can I get a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Coggins, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Bailey. Any discussion?
There's a question.
Sure, go ahead.
Is the E-rate contribution in this particular project?
Not for these locations. They are non-student buildings, so they're not E-ratable.
Thank you, sir.
Any other discussion? Having none, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Item F.
Item F, Mr. Chairman, was discussed during the work session last week, and it is before you for board action at this time.
Can I get a motion to approve item F?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Coggins, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Baker. Any discussion? Having none, all in favor, aye? Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Item G.
In item G, the superintendent recommends the service truck needed for the pupil transportation department be purchased from Ginn Motor Company of Covington, Georgia. An invitation for bid for a service truck needed for the department was opened May 10th, 2017. After evaluation, it was determined the bid submitted by Ginn Motor Company offered the lowest cost to the school system. The total price for this vehicle is $29,938, and this was a line item in the FY17 budget. And that is all for item G.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve item G?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Johnson, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Bailey, any discussion?
I have discussion.
Go ahead.
Dr. Barr, just wanted to say Dr. Barr.
A few more days left.
Okay.
Before it's official.
But it's nice to actually see a local company actually
Yes,
getting
ma'am.
the bid.
Here,
So,
here.
That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Barr.
A few more days, a few more days.
Any, we had a motion, we had a discussion, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, same, motion carries. Item H.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, items H and I were discussed during the work session last week, and we are requesting board action at this time.
We'd like to combine item H and I if there's no objection. Having none, I need a motion to approve item H and I.
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Johnson, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Baylor, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item J.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board.
Good evening.
Item J, before you for consideration tonight, Superintendent recommends the approval of the use of classrooms at Liberty Middle School by Restoration of Life Ministries for worship services. Restoration of Life Ministries has requested to rent 2 classrooms at Liberty Middle School for worship services. The rooms will be utilized on Sundays from June 1st, 2017 through May 31st, 2018. Facility fee will be $60 per Sunday, and the cost for utilities will be $60 per Sunday. And custodians will be used to clean the building after use. The principal of Liberty Middle School has agreed to this arrangement.
Thank you. I need a motion to approve item J, please.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bailey, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Coggins, any discussion? Having none, all in favor, aye? All opposed, same, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item K.
Item K, the superintendent recommends the approval of personnel recommendations made during executive session.
I need a motion to approve item K, please.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Coggins, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Bailey. Any discussion? Having none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. Other matters of interest. Ms. Ferry?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, a couple of things. First, with your approval of item K on the agenda this evening, I would like to announce the appointment of Mrs. Nikita Warfield as Director of Secondary Education. She's actually here in the back of the room. Mrs. Warfield holds a Bachelor of Science in Middle Grades Education from Fort Valley State University in Fort Valley, Georgia, and both a Master's and a Specialist in Educational Instruction from Central Michigan University, which is located in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. In July of 2017, Mrs. Warfield expects to earn her doctorate in Curriculum and Instruction from Walden University in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Mrs. Warfield has a myriad of educational experiences, which include middle school English teacher, team leader, project coordinator, department chair, college and career readiness coordinator, high school instructional coach, and high school assistant principal. Mrs. Warfield currently serves as the principal of Porterdale Elementary School in the Newton County School System. I am confident that Mrs. Warfield's experiences, both in all three areas, elementary, middle, and high school, have prepared her to expand on the current successes of our secondary educational program. And Mrs. Warfield's knowledge and expertise will enable our secondary program to reach even greater heights. Congratulations, Mrs. Warfield. And in addition to that, of course, we will have graduation. Alcovey High School will take place on May the 26th at Springfield Baptist Church at 8 p.m. Newton High School will take place on May the 27th at Springfield Baptist Church at 9 a.m. And Eastside High School will take place at Springfield Baptist Church on May the 27th at 3 p.m. That is it for me, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Ms. Ferry. Mr. Johnson? No. Ms. Coggins? Ms. Baker?
I just have one thing. Dr. Thomas, the parent engagement thing on Friday, first time, very, very, very nice. It's great to see parents excited about walking across the stage and getting a certificate. You know, it's amazing, just something that little can make somebody feel really, really big. So kudos to you and your team for doing that. So that was really, really good. So.
Thank you. Mr. Bailey?
Just congratulations to all our graduates.
Yep.
Today was their last day.
Anybody else? Having no one else, any comments, anything, I need a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Coggins, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Bailey, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
We stand adjourned.
One of those, it's a soaking day today.
Thank you.